Peace and greetings to all. Send you all love and lights. Okay, yeah. I'm going to start my videos now off with another mudra. This one is called Operates the Sacral Chakra. Brings for fluidity. And you're going to place the right hand over the left hand as such, like this. And you're going to place it out forth, maybe 2 or 3 inches in front of your, I guess I got to show my stomach, but in a way to where you're in front of your abdomen region. And you're just going to relax your shoulders. And see, with the sacral chakra, it brings forth, a lot of energy around creative energy, sexual energy. This also can bring forth, helps with emotional ease, releases a lot of things in the body and the mind. So again, you have your hands here, and then you're going to place them forth 2 or 3 inches in front of the abdomen. And just going to relax. Let me do this real quick. Okay, I'm still gonna flow with it. And this is fluidity. So you're gonna have your hand here, 2 or 3 inches in front of your abdomen. Relax your shoulders and say, a gentle wave of ease floods through my mind and body. A gentle wave of ease flows through my mind and body. A gentle wave of ease flows through my mind and body. Okay. So again, relaxing. And if you want to do more of your research on the sacral chakra, you can look that up. But I know it's sitting around, our sexual organs, sexual energy as such. Like I say, do more research on that. I know it's more, it's represented by one of the chakras. Like I want to say it's either orange or yellow. But I know that it's very important because saying that it relaxes the mind and body. And again, a mind is very important, renewing our mind and how we speak to ourselves. And that's one thing I'm learning through this journey of staying balanced, being neutral, and learning more about my own self and my guidance and healing from sexual traumas or traumatic childhood experiences, and honoring that, that sacred energy within myself, learning to speak to myself in a more kind and beautiful way. That being said, I like that mudra because it's actually throughout, those, I know for sure it'll help those that are going through that and the root chakra, sacral and the root chakra, those that have experienced sexual trauma or traumatic experience. And that's what I want to speak more in depth about now, that what a lot of us, that if you are familiar with twin placenta, as the Dogons would say, Dogon, or the twin souls, those people that are familiar with that term, I would like to share with you more on to depth of how coming out of the Piscean age and then entering to Aquarian age 2013. So those that maybe have come into your awakening or awareness spiritually, getting more into depth and, going to the depths of what your purpose here, your soul journey here to do, and how all those things have unveiled or before you. So what I wanted to just share with you, those that are familiar with things as such, or part of what you're here to do on your mission, uh, is that a part of what you have experienced, let's go speak about the Piscean age, is that again that was based on beliefs and the belief systems. So a lot of what I believe, again, Piscean age, is that people are familiar with religion per se, or even certain subconscious programmings of schools, universities, just so many things up to leading up to 2013's relationships, foundations, how we value ourselves, people, etc. Um, and so now being and entering into the Aquarian age, this is a part of us coming to the awareness of I know, meaning those that are coming to this awareness now of their journey. That means, let's say if you had kids already or anything that happened up to 2013, it's like now coming out of that illusion and coming into that knowingness of what you're doing, and everything prior to that moment you're subconsciously releasing all belief systems, all on across the whole board, all things rooted in fear subconsciously are coming to the surface. So not only, and see, being in this Venus retrograde is also showing that in relationships and in mirroring the value within self. You see, all of this is happening upon this journey, what we know it as, the twin souls. And see, the importance of all of that is um how the world, or how our, what we know, some may know as your belief systems, have, we're seeing globally how it's being challenged and dismantled. So where was it at? So I have some notes here. This is very vital. How energy unfolds, which is that of source or mama universe. You have, which is represented by our soul, and then you have the sun, which is the power, and then you have the father, which represents the spirit, and then you have the daughter, is in a sense of like the physical realm or our character, or who we are here. So what has happened is that um when we look at over time through humanity and through life, and how these false beliefs subconsciously have been programmed, and all these things have kept family apart from self, or divided amongst each other. As so with um the mother, the importance of mama knowing who she is. See, the divine feminine, everything coming into balance is to show that the importance of, the mother, the mama, knowing the importance of the soul, of who she is. And then the son that comes is the power. And so when we look at how that dynamic, for again, people that, people that want to, if you want to go into depth about what has happened in the past, how families were divided, people of, indigenous people, or people around the world globally. And so, and how people of a darker shade per se, again, we're speaking about the original man and woman, and how, again, um, how that so much sacrifice and pain has been endured to keep, so much force and abuse has to keep that dynamic apart. And see, the spirit of the father being there, the presence of the father, is for that protection. And then also the daughter aspect reminds us of the character of who we are, in a sense of like integrity. So how all of these play in a sense of the mother is that the mother is like the water aspect. The sun represents the father. The sun represents the fire. And see, too much of anything, again, when the mother, or let's say as you as a mother has brought forth a son, and see what has happened in the past is that we know those that have knowledge of how families were ripped apart and people were sacrificed and so much wickedness was going on around the world, as to the moments, the powers that has been, and that's a part of keeping people in the dark. This is a part of the spiritual warfare that was at play. And see, now, that being said, is that when the sun, again, the sun being the power, so you have a family dynamic. So you have the mother, the great mother. Then you have the son. So the father, again, co-creates, and then the son the son comes in, and then you have life. And that we know the sun illuminates everything. So in that aspect of the family or the tribe, when the sun is removed, all these things that have happened in family where incarceration, or, these sacrifices of people being killed and all these things, what some may, call slavery time, when, sons were killed in front of their mother and certain things, and the father, what they call butt breaking, or how the family was ripped apart basically from the inside out. And that was to like disintegrate or destroy all aspects of what the royal energy is, which is mother, son, father, daughter. So for the mothers, it's in a sense of you're spiritually, what's happening, or part of your soul ascension, and what's happening in the spiritual realm is that of like these men or certain things that have happened in past lives. You're seeing how, the connections with what has happened up to this moment. And see, these past lives are connected to what has happened through time, through eons. And so, as with, let's say, you having a connection with, certain men upon your journey, can have connections to how you or your grandmother, or someone in your past life could have been connected in a way of mother and son, or father and daughter, in a ways of now as a soul. You're seeing now the awareness on how you were connected to people. And so when you're having these subconscious fears of things that have been programmed, again, through a part of what has happening now to this awareness, is a part of the false narratives and the false beliefs and all those programmings now being dismantled and cleansed from who you are and within. And see, when it goes back to how the family was divided, also plays in a sense of how why it is the mother treats the son, watering the sun too much, and the sun being an aspect of the fire, and she smothers him. And see, this goes back to what has happened to our mothers and great grandmothers and great grandmothers over time up to this very moment. And see, this is why some of us now are chosen to bring forth that awareness and bring forth that light to face those shadow aspects of ourselves, or certain things that our ancestors did not fulfill. We are our ancestors' fulfillment. So it goes back again to the mother, and then you have the son, and then you also have the father. So when the mother, when the son is removed and all these traumatic things have happened in the past life, now you're seeing how the mother does not want to let go of the son, because the son, in a sense, she wants to do everything to protect him. See, that allows her to overly protect him and overly use her neglect her divine feminine aspect of who she is. And see, being that the father is not in the home or there to protect them, being what has happened in past life, this has passed on through generations to this very moment. See, the father represents the spirit of the family dynamic. When you don't have the father in the home, you see, it goes back to the son, because the mother gives birth to the son. Son being the aspect of what would a father will be to protect the daughter, which is also everything that begins with the mother. So how this has happened up to this moment, I'll share more, is that when the mother smothers the son due to the fact of how our people or certain things have happened, is because of what traumatically has happened to our ancestors, the sacrifices, the pain they had to endure, again, that has been passed through the womb of the woman, of the mother, which is, again, the water aspect, because we are what? Made up of water. We come and birth from the waters. And see, the sun is the power. He illuminates everything. When you see the sun, it illuminates everything that's in the dark. So again, and see, when the sun, those things have happened, when the mother had to visually see her son being taken, being snatched, being killed, and all these things dramatically, then in a sense for the father, not for his presence, not to be there to protect them, that spirit, that warrior, that protector, then he, the father, when the daughter comes, he does not value the protection of the daughter. And see, this is due to the fact of the smuggling of the mother of the son. So this is why you see, or what has happened in families and what has happened over time of how the imbalance, how it is created imbalance in the divine feminine and masculine aspects when it comes to energies. And that is represented by the divine feminine is, come on. And this has to do with coming into balance and wholeness with self. Oh, where is it at? Okay. And so, that being said, I know I got it in here too. Okay. Boom. Y'all bear with me. And this is why, again, the connection we're having and reconnecting with our ancestors, and then, Mama Universe, the source, is bringing forth this cleansing and healing, and we're having more of a channeling and deeper connection with our ancestors, our loved ones, which is a part in the spirit realm, and then our connection with source. And that's what a part of this Aquarian age is all about, is the evolution, the knowingness, and the evolution of knowingness, and the humanitarian. And so I got more notes in here. Here we go. Okay. And so this is why I love, like, just the coming into this awareness now of everything that is happening, and coming into that knowingness. And as an elder shared with me, the sister was saying, like, the first thing here is knowing, is being secure within self. Is anything that we came here to master, or to, things that certain things our ancestors didn't fulfill, or certain things our ancestors did master. We are here to fulfill that. They're here to guide us to fulfill that purpose. And that's a part of what they're here to guide us, our loved ones that have transitioned or passed over. And so this is what we're seeing that is bringing forth, and what people speak about the twin souls, how important it is to be whole within self, and then connecting, and then being empowered, having that empowerment inside, knowing that it cannot, it's immovable. Okay, here we go. So where is that thing at? Mama is oh yeah, got you. So this will help. It definitely helped me even more taking notes on this, and it speaks about how the mama and the son represents the physical self. The father and the daughter represents the spiritual. And I was like, wow. So the physical, in a sense, spiritual half, and then the physical half. Magic, hidden, exposed, father, right? It was something in here that it talks about certain signs that also represents the yang, yin and yang energies. And so for those that, again, goes back to like how you're aware now of that your soul purpose is seeing how some of some of those deep connections that you've had with other people and awakening to certain things you have is due to the fact of how past lives or lifetimes ago certain things were unequal at that moment, being like an imbalance. So in other lifetimes, the roles could have been reversed, like mother son or father daughter. And so this lifetime, it's in a sense of how we become whole within self, with the yin and yang, the dark and the light, and then becoming equal in a sense, or becoming balanced within self. And so and see, that's the importance of what the twin souls, the twin placentas, people always speaking about. They give you bits and pieces, but the importance of it all is that balancing between the spiritual and the physical, knowing that they both are hand in hand. They come together, the twin souls come together to form a bond, ascending to Scorpio. Then that activates a transformation into Sag, which comes into this abundance of empowerment. And see, this empowerment is within ourselves. And see, these are all energies and alchemy at play. And so the beauty of all of this is that where is this? Even how it talks about how the sister was sharing how number one, again, being secure within spiritually, and the security within self, like the values, how the misinformation and the just the false belief system on how we value things, how certain signs such as Taurus is about our values and not so much of materialism. And see, the world has given value to about what we possess rather than how we should internalize the value within ourselves, seeing the value within self, being secure within self. Then about the Virgo, speaking about cleansing. Virgo is about cleansing and purification. And Virgo is also about wisdom. And then how the world has portrayed that of false values of healing and wisdom. And you see how certain beliefs or certain things, how certain signs of zodiacs have been change or more externally focus more externally, superficial things rather than internalizing these attributes of ourselves. And let's see here. I said, man, these notes are very important. It's time we fulfill the characters and values of our ancestors. Integrity. Ancestors coming to the forefront, everything coming full circle from many lifetimes. And see, this is what some may call the dark night of the soul, or a lot of things that you're going through, this spiritual awakening or this awareness. And see, that's a part of the Aquarian age at this moment. And at this moment, it's like evolve or be left behind. And see, this is what we have to realize, that the shift has already been happening. Here we go. 6 axes or 6 energies to become holistic. See, this is the importance of what the soul or the twin flames, or however you want to title these things. It's more in the sense of the balance. The physical aspect is represented by Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. And that's the masculine aspect. The spiritual is the Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. This is the feminine aspect. And see, this represents again the zodiac signs, and it's more of when we're dealing with spirit, we're talking about inside out. Again, what has the world been learning through all of this is outside in. No, your value is truly inside out. And see, this is why, again, you have all these distractions, or these things physically that's superficial, or just these illusions of how people portray themselves with having all these things, and truly these things have been given, but how were they obtained? And see, the powers that has been they reached their max, and this started in 2013. This is why you're seeing a shift. So for all of you that are on this journey, you're coming into this awareness, know that number one, security within self, knowing self, standing in that knowingness is very vital. Then you become more aware consciously what you are here to do and walk in that purpose. See, subconsciously, everything coming up to, leading up to the Aquarian age, just look at how, reflect on, even in these moments, how we valued our relationships, how we view the world through this filter of like, this person got to have this person got to have this person has to have this. But what about them internally? What about the light within them? What about, them being holistically, knowing that they're whole within themselves? And see, that's the alchemizing of energy, and how we have this connection with not only the physical, spiritual, and then, our soul. And so this is why certain things have happened now with the emotions, our emotions, and so many things are happening, so many shifts. Taurus going north node, then Scorpio south node. Everything, the head now is the tail becomes the head. And see, then the Piscean age now is, again, the now being an Aquarian age is about our obtaining and receiving our spiritual, getting more into depth of our spiritual gifts and our connection to our seeing how our physical, spiritual, soul, all these things are connected. And see, that is a knowingness, security within self. This goes back to the foundation of everything. You see, that's how more into depth we start to learn the purpose of how over time and in the dark, how while our ancestors, loved ones that have passed over, and certain things speak to us, and why certain things have happened the way it did, and how seeing how we're having connections in past life, even through our connections with people. And see, now we're here. Spirit is like, we're here to bring peace with those things. A part of fulfilling our ancestors, a part of fulfilling our ancestors' purpose, and in this Aquarian age is like, this is the piece of the puzzle. This is it. And they want to fulfill everything now that, again, we are the powers that be. Now the tail is the head. It's more in the sense of now making peace and bringing awareness to all of what has happening, is happening, and will happen and will become. So yeah, just know that individually, just you knowing who you are and being secure within self, and that's a part of knowing, having awareness of the roots, your darkness, and where your ancestors come from, and how you came to be to this moment now to fulfill what, again, in their lifetimes they couldn't fulfill, but now in the spirit that you have access to them, and then even to source, having that access and connection to bring forth more awareness and healing, and yeah, living in that knowingness, living in that authority, walking in that royal authority, walking in that divinity and love. Ashe, peace and shalom.